tornado warning for places in northern Calhoun County. That's going to be north of the Bruce area, closer to Banner, and then also includes places in North Chickasaw County and also places in Pontotoc County. This tornado warning does go until 5 o'clock. It will probably be canceled early for some spots, but right now, why this has been put in place, you can see just tornado warning at the top. It is radar detected rotation with this storm. So we are continuing to track this storm moving through places northern parts of Calhoun County and then moving into Pontotoc County, northern Chickasaw County, possibly. If you are in this tornado warned box right now, you need to go ahead and get in your safe spot, looking a little bit closer and kind of trying to find some of that rotation detected. You can see a little bit more of that rotation. Trying not to stay in front of it. A little bit more of that rotation closer just north of Highway 330. And then that's going to be soon crossing close to Highway 32. County Road 260 is where we're looking at a little bit more of that rotation there. Looking back at precipitation mode, we are tracking a lot of that heavier rainfall as well. I'm going to take a timing of this storm as it's going to push closer towards Pontotoc County, northern Chickasaw County, but I'm going to track parts of Pontotoc County right now. That's going to be closer towards Banner here in the next couple of minutes, 424, Buckhorn 440, Randolph 443, Algoma 453, Pontotoc 459, Natchez Trace Park 507. That's past the tornado warning. Enville 511, West Wind 514 with this storm, and then Tupelo High School 516. Once again, that is outside of that tornado warning, but we are continuing to track this a little bit more of that extended track so folks know, hey, heads up, this is going to be moving your way. Now, a little bit more of that track. If it does take more of that just straight easterly path, that's going to be closer towards Buckhorn 441, Polka 452, Algoma 454, Troy 504, Black Zion 507, Furs area 510. And that's going to continue to move through northern parts of Chickasaw County with that. Now you can see it is still just tagged tornado warning. We have just radar indicated rotation with this storm. We are not tracking anything that has been confirmed. This is a separate cell than what we were tracking earlier this morning through the overnight. That one has pushed out towards Alabama. But this one singular cell has continued to strengthen over the past several minutes, and that's why we have had now that tornado warning pop up for those places. That's going to be northern parts of Calhoun County, parts of Pontotoc County, and then also that corner edge of Chickasaw County included in this tornado warning that does extend until 5 o'clock. Looking closer at this storm, we're seeing that's closer towards the Banner area. County Road 272, you can see there, County Road 130, needing to be in your safe spot. A lot of these storms through the overnight have continued to go through different phases. They'll strengthen, they'll weaken. So these storms could strengthen fairly quickly and then become possibly a damaging storm. So you want to take every warning that we get tonight, this morning, going into the rest of the day, very serious, because these storms could strengthen pretty quickly. Now you want to make sure you are staying extra safe. Get in your safe spot, which is a sturdy structure, middle of your home, the lowest floor, small room with no windows, no doors. Wrap up in pillows and blankets and have that helmet to protect yourself, protect your head. You want as much between you and the outside as possible. Now, some of those unsafe locations, that is going to be cars, trucks, manufactured homes, but also upper floors, rooms with windows, all unsafe locations. You can see that QR code right there, storm shelter list. You can scan that for that list, but also you can go to WTVA.com and it is on there county by county, some of those safe locations if you maybe do live in a mobile home or you don't feel like your home is as structured as it should be. You can find all those community shelters there. Now I want to clear that off and take another look at rotation with this storm as we are continuing to track that right now through northern parts of Calhoun County. That's where it looks like we are seeing a little bit more of that rotation. they're closer towards Highway 32 with that storm. A lot of lightning, a lot of that heavier rainfall closer towards the Banner area along 9 West. But if you are in northern parts of Calhoun County right now, Pontotoc County, southern part of Pontotoc County, over towards northern Chickasaw County, needing to go ahead and get in your safe place as you are now under that tornado warning. Now, this tornado warning is just radar detected rotation. We're not seeing any kind of confirmation with this. We don't have any kind of debris signature along with that kind of looking. That's going to be out of that Monroe County radar site there, kind of far off, but we don't have any kind of confirmation with this storm. So right now, just radar indicated rotation, but still needing to make sure you are staying aware and staying prepared, even though it is just radar indicated rotation, needing to make sure you are in your safe spot. Now, that rotation, looking at that, it looks like it is closer towards really just south of the Banner area, where we are seeing that kind of curve back into and away from that radar site. And it's going to be just south of the Banner area, County Road 275 there. Hopefully you are in your safe spot. But if you are there along County Road 130, County Road 151, Matthews Bend, Robbs Road up towards southern Pontotoc County, go ahead and get in that safe location. And you want to make sure through the overnight, especially. I mean, we've seen a few of these tornado warnings so far. You have multiple ways to get those alerts to wake you up. Weather Call a good way. You can find that link there at WTVA.com. WTVA weather app, NOAA weather radio, code red alert, FEMA app, and you want to have multiple ways to get those notifications, because if your power goes out, your internet goes out, and your phone dies, you still need to make sure you are staying weather alert. And this is going to be a long duration for some over the next day as these storms continue, for some into the midday and afternoon later today. Taking a bit of a wider look, really this is the lonely storm out there that we are tracking. Northern parts of Calhoun County right now, southern Pontotoc County. That storm's going to be moving into your area, and then also moving into possibly northern Chickasaw County. Let's take a look at which really way that storm is progressing. And that's progressing primarily through moving into Pontotoc County. It's moving north and east. It's not really tracking just straight east. So primarily parts of Calhoun and Pontotoc County being impacted by this storm. So zooming back in a little bit closer to this storm, you can see a lot more of those bright pink colors there, a lot of that heavier rainfall. Looking at hail, there is some small hail along with that storm, but we are continuing to track. Let's look at rotation on this. A little bit of that rotation there, still fairly broad, but we are tracking a little bit more of that rotation. See right along 9, just south of the Banner area. That looks like where we have that rotation that has flagged that tornado warning. And right now it is still just radar detected rotation. We've had some tornadoes through the overnight confirmed by spotters causing debris signatures. This is not with that same cell. This is its own individual cell, a different system that we are tracking. So still seeing possibility of that tornado, and we need to take all of these warnings serious through the overnight. I'm getting that off so we can get a cleaner look at that radar. Needing to make sure you are in your safe place if you are there along 9 through parts of Calhoun County, County Road 151, southern parts of Pontotoc County. Go ahead and get in that safe location. Some of those safer locations, once again, sturdy structure. Small windowless room, you want to be in the middle of your home, lowest floor if you are at your house. Wrap up in pillows and blankets, put a helmet on to protect you if needed. You want to make sure you are staying as safe as possible and stay in there until given the all clear. Now for places northern Calhoun County, it does look like, let's look at the past few scans and I'll show you. So watch the bottom end of this storm. How it kicks back up around. That's that rotation. It's going to continue to filter in right there. So that's where we're tracking that potential for that circulation. So I'm going to get a track on that as that's moving really right along 9 right now. northern parts of Calhoun County. So getting a track right there where we are looking at that rotation through southern Pontotoc County. Matthews 439, Buckhorn 444, Randolph 446, Algoma 456, Pontotoc City Lake 5 o'clock, Chippewa 505, Nixon 506, closer toward Enville at 514. Go ahead and take a picture of this screen, send it to somebody that is maybe in the way of this storm, wake them up, get them to their safe place, because through the overnight, these storms are very dangerous. We have lowered visibility through the overnight and many folks trying to sleep. So make sure you are waking folks up if you know that are in under this storm, ahead of this storm. It's better to be safe than sorry on this one. So just make sure you are staying extra careful. I'm going to take another look at storm rotation with this, and I want to zoom back in closer to where it looks like that rotation is happening. Right about here. Look at debris signature. Still kind of messy from that radar site. The National Weather Service in Memphis, watching a few storms. Pontotoc County EMA, tornado sirens going off in Pontotoc County. Yes, there is a tornado warning for the south and west corner of Pontotoc County. And since a lot of our sirens do go county-wide, if you are in Pontotoc, technically you are not under that tornado warning right now, but you may be hearing sirens. If you're up towards Eckery, you may be hearing sirens, but that tornado warning box does not include those locations. Now, Pontotoc, you might want to go ahead and be steps away from your safe place, as it looks like this storm is continuing to strengthen. With this rotation, I mean, you can kind of see that curve back there. It's not as impressive as we've seen some other storms, but still a little bit of that rotation there, right along 9, 3, 33, or just past that. So we're going to continue to track this, and still needing to take every storm that we get through the rest of today, into your evening, afternoon, very serious. So go ahead and get to your safe spot, far northern parts of Calhoun County and southern parts of Pontotoc County right now. County Road 151, it is soon to be to your area, really right along 9 and County Road 163 at the moment. We're continuing to track a tornado-warned storm right now for places Calhoun, Pontotoc. This does include northern places in Chickasaw County. I think most of it will move into southern Pontotoc County. So Buckhorn more than likely be north of your area. Still go ahead and get in that safe place, because some of these tornado warning storms have shifted more straight east. Now, it does look like this one primarily is moving northeast, so it should stay north of your location, but just make sure to stay extra careful with these storms through the overnight. You can never be too careful with some of these tornado warned storms. And I also want to kind of look at, once again, some of those safer locations. You want to make sure you are in a small windowless room, wrapped up in pillows and blankets, a helmet if you have that. You want to make sure you are staying extra careful. A bathroom is a good safe place, maybe hall closet, underneath the stairs if you have that. And of course, a tornado shelter is always the safest location if you have one of those. But what we are tracking is that tornado warned storm. Right now, it looks like that circulation that we do have, a little bit more broad circulation, is getting close to 9, County Road 189, County Road 167, that area in far northern places in Calhoun County. Now I'm going to zoom back out and take a track of this storm, as it is going to be moving into Pontotoc County here soon, looking at close to where we see that rotation, and I'm going to get a bit of a longer track. Closer to Algoma, 454. Pontotoc, 458. Chippewa, 502. Enville, 511. Closer towards Tupelo High School, 517. North Mississippi Medical Center, 521. Tupelo, 523. Closer to Guntown, 533. That is on down the line. But once again, if you know anybody that is on that list, or anybody that is close to being on that list, go ahead and take that picture, send it to them. You can never be over kind of aware for these things. Make sure you are letting everybody know if they are out ahead of these storms, because with some of these storms, especially with this type of environment, they could fuel up fairly quickly. Now, this tornado warning that we are tracking right now, we are seeing just that tornado warning. We don't have any tag like we've seen through the overnight with large tornado, considerable damage like we had as that previous storm was going through places, Grenada County. This is just that tornado warning tag, and that's because that is rotation detected from radar. That looks like it is moving through northern Calhoun County right now, where we are trying to look at some of that rotation. And looking at the past few scans, it's not overly impressive, but it is still trying to rotate there. Looking at storm rotation, see a little bit more of that. They're still kind of close to Highway 9, northern Calhoun County. It is still just radar detected rotation. Moving through for some very southern parts of Lafayette County, included in that, maybe clipping that corner. Pontotoc County also included in that. So if you are in the Randolph area, Algoma area, go ahead and get in that safe location. Pontotoc, you are not in the tornado warning box, but you might want to go ahead and be in that safe location as well, as you're just right outside of that tornado warning box. Now, if you have somebody that you know that is going to be out ahead of these storms, I am going to get a bit of a longer track once again, tracking kind of that center of that storm through Tupelo. I'm going to go ahead and track it all the way towards the Fulton, Guntown area, but closer towards Fulton, 549 if that storm holds together. But we've seen storms through the overnight so far go through waves. They'll strengthen, they'll weaken, they'll strengthen again. We've seen it already through the overnight. Closer towards Belmont, 612, Red Bay, 615 if this storm holds together. Right now, we have a tornado warning in effect. I'm meteorologist Chelsea Simmons, alongside, once again, with our meteorologist John DeLusick. It has been a long evening for a lot of folks, but still needing to take every tornado warning serious. So with this tornado warning right now, why do we see it? It is radar indicated. We do not have that tag as spotted, confirmed. We don't have that large debris tag or considerable damage tag like some of those previous storms through the overnight. But even though we don't have that tag, still needing to make sure you are staying safe. You want to make sure you are in a sturdy structure and some of those unsafe places. It's going to be cars, trucks, manufactured homes, large open rooms, upper floors, and rooms with windows. And once again, the QR code is there to have that shelter list for all those community shelters. And you can also find that list at WTVA.com. Now, the storm does look like it is moving now into parts of Pontotoc County along with this storm. And once again, it's not overly impressive, but we are still tracking a bit more of that broad rotation closer towards that corner of Calhoun, Pontotoc County. Now, we're still ways away from the radar site, so we're not getting the best data with this. I do want to go look back at the hail size potential. Still not the largest hail, but some hail possible through northern Calhoun County with this storm. Not overly impressive with that. You could hear some small hail, but most of that right now still northern parts of Calhoun County. This storm, where we have been tracking that area of broad rotation, is now going to shift into parts of Pontotoc County. So Randolph, even though we don't have anything confirmed, be in your safe spot. Algoma, kind of right on that edge of maybe in, out of that warning box. Go ahead and be in your safe spot as well. Pontotoc, I'd go and be in your safe spot just to kind of be a little bit extra cautious with this storm. Getting a closer look, that newest scan there still has that traveling right along 9, closer towards Randolph. And looking at that storm rotation, it's still not overly impressive with that. But overall, that's still tracking into southern parts of Pontotoc County. Now, if you are trying to figure out more ways to get those alerts, WTVA Weather Call, it'll call you if you do fall under any of those severe warnings. WTVA Weather app, you can turn on those notifications, and really needing to turn on those notifications for tornado warning and tornado watch. especially as we head through the next 18 hours or so. No weather radio is a good way, especially if your phone dies, your power goes out, that one will still work and give you that resource to keep up with the weather. Code Red Alert, FEMA app, all good resources to have, and you need more than one resource. You need more than social media. You need more than just the WTVA weather app to have that extra layer of protection. Now let's look back at the storm. We are still tracking a tornado-warned storm through parts of Calhoun, Pontotoc, Chickasaw County under that warning box. Now, Chickasaw County, not seeing much of any severe weather right now, even those showers off to the south. Still just some light rainfall. Where that main storm is that has flagged this morning is moving out of Calhoun County, moving into Pontotoc County. It's going to be moving into southern parts of Pontotoc County right now, just around Highway 9 and north, kind of right over top of the Randolph area. We're going to continue to see that track closer towards 334, Highway 334 there, South Pontotoc Road, and then closer towards 278, as that is going to continue to track north and slightly east. So if you are ahead of this storm, Randolph needing to be in your safe spot right now, but more of a track. Pontotoc 502, Chippewa 505, Longview 511, Enville 514, and then Charleston Gardens 520. Now, most of those places are outside of the tornado warned box, needing still to make sure you are staying ahead of these storms, staying prepared. And if you know anybody that is outside of this warning box, but maybe in the path of this storm, go ahead and give them a call, give them a text, wake them up, tell them just to go ahead and be in that safe location. Right now, we're not tracking anything too overly impressive. Cleaning that off and looking back at the storm rotation, we're not seeing near as strong or severe as what we had earlier this evening overnight. It does look like could still see some very breezy conditions with this storm. I'll look at it for the past few scans. It looked more impressive back through parts of Calhoun County, but it looks like that small kink that we had has kind of straightened out. But that bottom edge of the storm just south of Randolph could be trying to push out and have some very gusty winds as it pushes out of kind of the Randolph south side of that area. Now, Stewart Loop, right there, that's where you probably have some breezy conditions pushing into that area. Indian Creek Trail, going to be seeing some breezy conditions here soon, needing to be in that safe location. And if you are closer towards panel there, 341, South Pontotoc High School, make sure you are in your safe spot, as right now this is still a tornado warned storm. Now, Chickasaw County included in that tornado warning, but we're not seeing any of that storm moving through Chickasaw County. The storm has primarily tracked north and east. It's taken more of that northerly path. So looking at that, I am going to track it a little bit more to include the Sherman area. So looking kind of at that center of the storm, including Sherman and Saltillo. Some more times on that. That's going to be Longview 508, New Harmony 513, I-22 Barnes Crossing 519, Elvis Presley Lake 529, Guntown area 534, Baldwin area 539, and Centerville 542, if that holds together that long. Right now, this is a tornado warned storm. Now, we do have that tornado warning along that storm, but why is it issued? It is issued because of some radar indicated rotation, and it could continue to develop. So that's why we have that warning. We do not have anything confirmed. We have not seen a debris signature with this storm. So we are not having anything knowing on the ground right now. Now, with that being said, still needing to make sure you are staying safe. This is moving through southern parts of Pontotoc County right now, and kind of zooming in a little bit closer, looking at this storm. There's not typically in that tornado storm, you'll see more of that kind of inflow from the storm to kind of kink it back. Looking at that, that's mostly fairly straight. a little bit of a kink. We'll watch those next few scans to see if that tries to rotate anymore. But that's going to be close to the panel area, or just north and west of the panel area. In between 9 and 341 there is where it looks like it's trying, but we'll continue to watch that. Now, still just tagged as that tornado warning right now, and it's moving through parts of Pontotoc County. South Pontotoc High School, if you're in that area, needing to make sure you are in your safe spot. Pontotoc City, I'd go ahead and be in your safe spot as well, just to make sure you are staying extra safe. Pontotoc is technically outside of that warning box, but extra precaution is not a bad thing. So looking at that storm, looking at rotation, let's see. Not seeing anything too overly oppressive. John, what do you think?
The National Weather Service still wants to keep it going. They do think it's mainly located in Randolph right now with the circulation.
Yep.
And they do still want to keep it going with the warning. So
still wanting to keep it going, but I mean,
mentioned that the hail has weakened a bit in the last several scans, so that's a good sign.
So a good sign on this storm. National Weather Service is going to continue this tornado warning. This extends until 5 o'clock. Now, we have seen storms through the overnight period go through phases where they will weaken, they'll pick back up, they'll weaken again, they'll pick back up. So this storm still has the potential, even though it's not producing a tornado right now, it has that potential to continue to kind of grab some of that fuel from the atmosphere. I mean, there's still a lot of fuel out there, and try to produce something. So that's why we're still continuing to track that right now. Tornado warning. It is 4:46 for your morning, and this tornado warning is still in effect for places through Pontotoc County, parts of Calhoun County, and then also northern Chickasaw County included in that. But most of the storm is primarily through Pontotoc County. Chickasaw County, not seeing a lot of that storm for your area. Now, in Pontotoc County, the whole county may be hearing sirens right now. I know a lot of our counties in our area, if part of your county is under a tornado warning, you'll hear sirens across the area. So Ecru, Pontotoc, you may be hearing tornado sirens. Pontotoc, I'd go ahead and get in that safe location. Ecru, it looks like most of that will stay north of your area, but this is still continuing to primarily track north and east. So I want to make sure I'm getting the right angle on this storm. Ecru, I might go ahead and get in that safe spot just in case. It does look like it may stay just off to your south, but looking at that as we have a new scan that is just updated, still looks like we were trying to get that rotation. And that's going to be just north and west of that panel area. See a little bit more of that kickback right there. Now that's where it looks like it's trying to rotate, and then also kind of trying to rotate a little bit on up the storm as well, closer to the 9 and 334 kind of intersection there. Now, if you are in this tornado warning box, that includes South Pontotoc High School, close to Algoma, Wallfield, go ahead and be in your safe spot. Wallfield, primarily up to you're to the south of this storm. But the National Weather Service in Memphis does plan on keeping this tornado warning at least until 5 o'clock. Now, that's for the next 12 minutes. If you are under this warning right now through parts of Pontotoc County, I'm going to get a track for you even past that tornado warning line. So it is going to include Pontotoc, and then I'm going to extend the track even north up towards Baldwin area. Danville 513, Ashley Furniture there 504, New Harmony 515, Sherman 518, closer towards Saltillo 530, Northlake Complex 537, Baldwin 541, Frankstown 546, Blackland 548, where that storm's going to continue to track past the tornado warn box and possibly in through northern parts of Lee County and then moving closer towards Prentiss County. Now, the folks that are in this tornado warning box right now may be waking up to a lot of alerts on your phone, maybe some sirens going off. You may be able to hear those outside. This is still just radar detected rotation. We do not have anything confirmed with this storm right now. We do not see a confirmed tag or any kind of large debris tag like we had with the earlier storms that we were tracking through the overnight and early this morning. So could be still also producing a little bit of hail, but it looks like that has tapered off slightly. So getting another close look at this storm, that is moving close to the South Pontotoc High School right now. Back at some of that storm rotation. Some broad rotation. I mean, it's trying. It's not producing anything right now. But if you are in that part of Pontotoc County, South Pontotoc High School down towards Panel, Pontotoc, Algoma, go ahead and be in your safe spot. And I'd argue maybe even up towards the Nixon area, south of Ecru, but maybe Ecru. Go ahead and be in your safe location as well, as this has continued to track more up towards the northeast. I do think now it is going to stay fairly mainly south of Ecru. But this is in that kind of corner of that tornado warning box where it does look like we have some of that broad rotation with that. But still possible that this could develop into a stronger storm. These storms through the overnight have went through multiple cycles of weakening and strengthening and weakening. Now, this is not the same cell that we were tracking earlier through the overnight. That cell is out towards Alabama. That has passed its own individual storm there, continuing to track closer towards central Pontotoc County right now with the strongest part of that storm, and where it looks like we do have some rotation with that storm as well. You can see a little bit more of that curve back right there. That's going to be closer towards 9, and that is South Pontotoc Road right there. A little bit of a curve. Says that it's trying to do something.
Just to mention, when you talk about these storms, like we've had already some pretty good storms overnight. I mean, in the last several hours, the one that went into Alabama, I just do not feel, from years past, when you have a pretty strong one like which we had here in the last couple of hours move through, usually stabilize a little bit.
Yeah.
But tonight, the air is pretty unstable here in Mississippi, and not as much in Alabama. That's why they're kind of losing their punch in Alabama. We're much closer to that zone where we are going to be really firing things up here later on this morning into the afternoon hours. So I think that's what's happening. We're just so close to that zone. I think hopefully this will just weaken a bit in the next couple of scans or the next couple of minutes, but it has shown not as, like I said, not as strong as it was just a little while ago. I think we just found some energy a little bit farther north from the path that the other one took down through Chickasaw County and into southern Lee and into Ilawama County. But it's interesting to see how fast it did recover. I mean, usually you don't see stuff like, especially this time of night. Daytime wise, yeah, when you're having some heating. But this time of night, where it's humid out there. Obviously, it's still very unstable. But I'm really surprised how fast this one popped up. We were talking about it about an hour
Yeah.
ago. And so is there going to be one that would do the one? And this is the one that decided to try to do something. But not to say it's doing anything, but try.
Yep. And the National Weather Service in Memphis just put that they're going to let the Calhoun Pontotoc tornado warning expire at 5 o'clock and then monitor that storm. So, I mean, we've seen these storms fluctuate. They've strengthened, they've weakened. Hopefully this one will just weaken and continue to weaken so some more folks can get some rest, because it has been a long night for a few folks. But it is still weakening, so they're going to let that expire in the next 7 minutes. So, with that being said, we still have storms later today. I'm trying to think what day it is now. Later today. For some, I was looking at models, John. Could be as early as maybe 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, usually maybe that early, but but most likely by the late morning, the afternoon hours, this will be a very serious situation. I've seen a handful of these high-level alerts. This one started off with the 2-day outlook. As a matter of fact, the second day, we only had that. I think that's only since 2006. I think we've had 3 high alerts on the second day, and now that's been continued, and also from Tupelo southeastward, the best bet for seeing some stronger thunderstorm activity that could produce some tornadoes. And people ask, does that include, I guess still, they say when we say strong tornadoes, does that include EF4, EF5 possibility? Yes, it does, folks. We don't have to sugarcoat this. This is going to be a situation that's going to be very serious. I've been doing this for 35 years, and there's been a handful of times. I don't like comparing it to all the other events, but this will be one of those events I think that folks will remember. I think after last night's stuff all over the central portion of the United States, and up towards Chicago area, St. Louis area being pounded, Cape Girardeau and so on, so on, Poplar Bluff in Missouri. The same storm system now really kicks into our area, and it's going to be a very interesting Saturday.
It is. And I'm going to show you another look at that risk map. Now, for folks that maybe watched yesterday, that level 5 risk has been expanded north through the overnight. So it now includes places through Lee County, back towards Kilmichael, including Attala County, back out to our south and east. For the rest of our area, almost the rest of our area, that level 4 risk. Now, overall, what does this mean? It means we have the atmosphere to produce some potentially long track, violent tornadoes. You can see where they have those pinstripes there. Even up towards Tennessee, almost to Memphis, that's where we have the potential for some strong damaging tornadoes. Now, needing to make sure you are staying weather alert as we are looking towards the rest of the day, because it is going to be a busy day, not only for your morning. 9 to 10 o'clock, we could see those storms as early as that point, but it continues into your afternoon, into your evening, and you could see multiple warnings through the day. This is going to get probably exhausting for a lot of folks, but tomorrow is not the day to really have any plans other than sit beside your safe place. Now, we are still looking at this tornado warned storm right now moving through central places in Pontotoc County. The National Weather Service is going to let this storm expire at 5 o'clock when this warning is over. Still could be seeing some heavier rain push into the Pontotoc and Crew area soon, and then also continuing to shift a little bit on downline Tupelo, Saltillo. We're monitoring this storm. Right now, I'm going to give it one more look at that rotation. Hasn't been too impressive. Still not so impressive right now, which is a good thing. We really don't want impressive storms, but the atmosphere the rest of the day is going to be very fueled. So these storms could flare up fairly quickly. So when you do get a tornado warning through the rest of the day into the evening, you need to take that action when that happens. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be outside looking around. You need to make sure you are in that safe spot. That's going to be in a sturdy structure in the middle of your home, lowest floor, whether that's your house, your friend's house, your family's house, and find a room without windows, away from any kind of doors, wrap up in pillows and blankets, a helmet if you have that, especially you want to protect your head, but you want to keep as much protection around you between the outside as possible. You want to really take yourself extra safe from any potentially flying debris and stay there until given the all clear. There will be multiple storms tomorrow across the area, so it is a day to make sure you are staying aware and staying safe. Some of those unsafe locations. It's going to be cars, trucks, manufactured homes, large open rooms, upper floors, and rooms with windows. You really do not need to be, or you don't really want to be, close to windows, even for some breezy conditions. I mean, we've seen some potential winds, just those winds causing damage overnight and into today. So looking at radar one more time, taking a wide look. That's really the only storm that we have out there right now. We're still watching development back out to our west that we could see by later this morning, but right now we do have that one storm through places in Pontotoc County, and that is going to be shifting through parts of northern Lee County soon, but National Weather Service will allow for that tornado warning to expire in about another minute and a half. Still monitoring this storm for potential development. We've said this through the overnight. These storms have went through waves. They'll strengthen, they'll weaken. Luckily, this one doesn't look like it has strengthened much. We've still only just had that tornado warning tag up there. We have not seen any confirmed tornado. We have not had any debris signature. So this will be allowed to expire in the next really less than a minute from the National Weather Service in Memphis. Still looking at some rain back towards Itawamba County right now. I'm going to check and make sure there's not a lot of large hail with this storm. Not seeing a lot of that. Let me look at the past few scans. There was some as it moved into Pontotoc County, but overall it looks like that hail potential has weakened as well. So heavier rainfall, breezy conditions still possible moving through Pontotoc right now. That'll move into Sherman soon, and then into northern places in Lee County. But that tornado warning will expire in the next minute. And overall, most of us for now fairly calm. So once this expires, you can go back to sleep, take a nap, but make sure those alerts are on. I'm going to give you another look at some ways to get those alerts. WTVA weather call, you can find that on our website. WTVA's weather app, have those notifications on your phone on loud. No weather radio, no red alert, and the FEMA app. All needed multiple ways to get that protection. Now that tornado warning has expired, just that rainfall, heavier winds, we're continuing to monitor these storms as they push in, but we will send you back to programming and cut in as needed.
One of those nights, with this stuff is hard. It's not playing the game the way it's
Did you say
supposed to
something?
play. Even though folks say, oh, it's gonna get, you know, I just wanna try it. I found it peaceful.
Keep the radar up.
It's testing.
Yeah.
These things are testing me, trying to see what it can get later.